All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Joy Human Banks channel. And I remain your host, Umakiye Joy Human Banks. With me, I have the most distinguished and sought after couple of the Faculty of the Social Sciences. Here I have Mr.
Owanko Ekene.
All right,
And Jane Ezirim.
Ezirim Jane.
Yes.
Okay, this is not the first time you guys are on the show. I hope you remember that.
Actually, was it last year or 2 years ago?
It was last year.
Last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
Okay.
Let's just say last year. I'm not too sure myself.
Okay.
But then it was really an exciting time having you guys around.
Yeah.
The audience loved it. We had a lot of views from your appearance, your comments, and all of that. You guys are like the stars of the Social Science.
Stop it.
And okay, as at then, you guys were more like, I think, friends, right?
We're
Yes.
So-
friends.
You're still friends.
Yes.
Is there-
So,
Okay. As the status changed now.
are we not yet together?
Yeah, you are here together.
So, are we not friends?
So what's the definition of this friendship?
Not-
Do you like to
not
throw more
really.
light? Do you like to throw more light?
No, I think the lighting is enough.
Light in the room.
Okay. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But then there seem to be a number of challenges with students when it comes to university, especially in the University of Ibadan. And I think one time I was doing research and I discovered that UI seem to be like the most difficult university in Nigeria. And I can say that myself because I've been to other universities. I've attended one university. I've heard from also other people who have been to other schools. I think UI just has this way of bringing out the best from its students. In that process, it looks like there's nothing left to give. So there seem to be challenges and challenges and challenges. And you guys killed it. If I'm not mistaken, you guys were like, if not the best, or one of the best.
First,
Both of you graduated with the first class.
by God's grace.
Okay, that's
I
quite
was following
exciting.
her footsteps.
Okay, you're following our footsteps. You see, I'm glad to be talking to people who actually made first class because I have a friend that I've been with for a while. And if I know that he did not even make, that he will not make a first class, he cannot make a first class. but let's just get to it. I would like to ask you. Let me start from you, Kenny.
Okay, sir.
What strategies did you use to balance academic responsibilities with extracurricular activities? Do I need to repeat the question or should I break it down?
Okay,
Like,
if you want to break it down, let's say.
Okay, like what are those things that you did to kind of create that balance between academics and other things that you're doing in school?
Okay. So, in 100 level, actually, I'll make this as brief as possible. In 100
Okay.
level, I wanted to just focus on academics, like, because that was the first time I was going to really do so much reading in my life.
Okay.
Because if you remember, all of
Yeah,
those
you said
things,
it now,
I
that's
was not a good
conversation.
student and all of that
yeah.
in secondary. So coming to UI was like the first time I was going to really do so well. So I wanted to focus, right? Well, other things came up. I joined committees and all in 100 level, but basically, there's something called time blocks. Basically,
Okay.
I was very intentional about. There are some times I did not negotiate for reading. For example, in the morning. So I noticed I'm still
You are
I'm still
assimilated
a morning person. Yeah.
Okay.
So I used to wake up by I still wake up by 4 anyway. I used to wake up by 4.
Wake up by 4, right?
Yeah, and then after prayer and all of that, then I read for at least 1 hour, 30 minutes or 2 hours.
Okay.
So that one, I know that one has entered
settled.
the bank.
Yeah.
Join the bank.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but like so then in between classes, because our timetable was quite okay. Though some days were more choking than others.
Okay.
But in between classes, where let's say we had an 8 a.m. class, 8 to 10, when the next one is like 12 to 1.
Yeah.
Now that the 2 hours in between, that's say 10 to 12. What I do is I disappear. I go to the library.
Wow.
You get so
Library.
so I just associate, do some socializing for some minutes, and then the
Yeah.
rest of it I go, and then still even in the evening I'm usually tired, so I hardly read in the evening. But most of my reading happens early in the morning and in the afternoon in between classes. So the little time I find, I use it to just read, and then every other thing now comes up. But I make sure I get in 4 to 6 hours every day at
On
least.
reading.
Yes.
Yeah. I really see that you're able to balance. For you, I think you're exceptional. I'm saying this from me to you. I think you're exceptional
Thank
because
you.
you're really able to balance. You made the first class. We'll come to your political life.
You did a better job balancing though.
Okay, we'll come to her too. You were vice president of the faculty, and your relationship life too. You were able to capture some very
Of
pretty
course, your
girl.
relationship with people.
No, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying your relationship with people. I know you have a good relationship with people. We saw it in the vote that you accumulated in elections. But you're also able to capture this very pretty girl. Unlike my friend, he's not in a relationship.
He's your friend now. That's
He's
your
not in
relationship.
politics. No, not that kind of relationship. And he's not even on it one. Okay, let me hear from Jane. How are you able to balance your? By the way, you are looking very stunning. I've said that like maybe 2 or 3 times now, and you made this dress
Say
yourself.
it more, sir.
Yes, I did.
You made it.
Overnight.
You made it overnight.
Yes.
Wow. Like you made it last night for this.
For this event.
Wow, you're looking very, very nice. Like,
Yeah.
so you make clothes, right?
Yes.
You were doing
Fashion
that
designer.
while you were in school,
Of course, from 100 level.
and you still made it first class.
Yes.
Wow,
Levels.
that's exceptional. That's exceptional. That's exceptional. All right, just tell us how you're able to achieve that balance.
Like I say, I believe in prioritizing your activities.
Most important activities.
Most importantly. So for me, 100 level, we were still like, okay, let's just take all the jobs, so that we don't starve to death in school. So I was juggling the two and I suffered for it actually. I did not get enough sleep. But from 200 level, I think I started getting how to like balance it. Yeah, wisdom from God actually, because I realized that was the only time I could say, okay, I want to surrender everything to Him. So God kept leading me and I just followed through.
Wow.
So to balance work now with school and other activities, all I did was once I see that academics is already demanding my life, what I do is I reduce fashion, like the intensity. So some people they just beat themselves up for something that is not exactly worth it. So they are not telling you if you don't sew for a year that you will die.
Yeah.
So what you just have to do is, like for example, 400 level. I think I only made one set of outfits for my close friends, and I did it because of the cultural nights that we're planning for. I know.
Oh, wow.
And after that, I did not do anything because I knew that 400 level was like the peak of it, and the fact that we've heard stories that 400 level people's CGPA would always reduce.
Wow.
Surprisingly,
From
mine
400?
actually increased.
From 400.
Once you get 400, there's that possibility that your grade will reduce because you have projects to do.
Wow.
You'll be on the field
So
collecting
you mean my
data
friend
and
that
all.
is on a tutu now might end up in a 10th class?
Those are just
I'm not
the
saying
rumors.
that. I'm not saying that.
I hope he sees this video.
So basically, what I'm just trying to say is that at
Okay.
that point, I told myself the truth. You can lie to everybody, but not yourself.
Yeah.
So I told myself the truth. Jane, you have to stop this one and go home and ask for help. Like ask them that, tell them you are a student, let them provide for you. You don't have to
Yeah.
do this yourself. And then I focused squarely on my academics. And that was why I was there. And of course, it reflected in my result. Like my 400 level result was the highest CGPA ever from 100 level to 400. And this is something that some people might not exactly see because they be like, at 400 level, let's just reduce a bit because of project and all, and they give
Yeah.
excuses to why they got lower score. But if you prioritize and you know, okay, this should come first. We ran this race and now we are almost getting to the finish line. Why will you now be like identical about your
Yeah.
activity? So I just let go of fashion. And by the way, am I not here still sewing?
Wow.
For certificates, your school exam, you only write it once. So why don't you just sit and finish it
And focus on it.
and focus on it?
Thank you very much for those responses. I believe that our audience are very thrilled and they are learning a lot. Like, yeah, people should actually take a cue from you. Okay, another question I want to ask you, Kenny, is how do you stay motivated and focused on your academic goals? We know that there's distraction. There's distraction everywhere. Guys, like my friend, always chasing women up and down. There is politics, there is sports. Some of us are in the school team. We go to parties regularly. We go out to flex. So, how do you stay focused? How do you stay motivated? Those times you're just tired. Class today, class tomorrow, test. You know you are 2 tests before exam. How do you stay focused and motivated?
Okay. I'll make it as simple as possible.
Okay? We appreciate that because we know you have a lot of stuff.
So I would always encourage people to study a course they love.
Wow. Not the course that loves them.
If the course loves you, you love it too. Because I like to say psychology found me. Really.
Wow.
So
It was psychology that found you.
found
Okay.
So we fell in love.
Wow.
That sounds very
I was going to say, hope it's not this kind of love. I understand.
But anyway, the point is
Jane, I hope you are not jealous.
uh-uh.
Okay. Because it's like psychology is first
She
love.
loves psychology too now.
Okay,
How
so
can she
it's
be
like
jealous of
a
psychology?
three-fold relationship.
So anyway, so basically I love psychology and
Wow.
I wanted to be very good at psychology. I wanted people to meet me and live better basically.
Yeah, like
So
solve their mental issues.
exactly, so solve problems for them and all of that. So I had that already in my head. So I didn't even see school as now the way I saw school was different from a regular student. School was not a place of stress for me. It was like my training center.
Wow.
So I would see classes as
Part of your training.
as part of the training. Now I would literally see going for class as going for a seminar or going for a workshop.
Wow.
Because in that class it's just me and the lecturer. Like I'm just paying so much, I'm just receiving from you. Plus our lecturers are so smart. So I'm already in awe of the lecturer already. So when you're giving me, I'm just receiving, I'm just open and receiving, right? So then the test and all of that we received, I mostly saw it as a training, like I mentioned before, and that God enabled me to do whatever. So I was not scared of anything. If there were any challenges, what I would always say is, I go run now.
Hmm.
We go run now.
You
So
go run am.
I had to like
No, we go run from am.
no go run from am, we go run now.
Okay.
So in my head, I'm like, we can do this thing because I have the Holy Spirit in me. So
Wow.
God is in me. These academics that come and oh God. so yeah. So
So the
there
Holy
was
Spirit
that.
was like a major factor.
Yeah, a very
But what about this? Some people that have the Holy Spirit and it's like the Holy Spirit is not really helping them.
that means they don't know what they have. Oh. They need to go and they need to
I will,
go.
I will send somebody to you.
No problem. But that was the
Okay.
motivation. I didn't really lack motivation, though there was a point in 100 level because I think it got deeper. The revelations I had got deeper. I remember at the end of 100 level, we had this strike, this 9 month, 8 month strike,
Yeah.
and
9 months.
I was not motivated to read that period, but she was reading. So, well, like basically, when I am tired, she's not tired.
Wow.
And when she's tired, I'm not tired. So
So she's your motivation.
she would motivate me when I'm because of to get the video.
Wow.
Like, so when I'm
Maybe
tired,
that's why she's not adding weight.
ah,
Like using all the energy to read.
Someone said that once to me.
Yeah.
so
But I
anyway,
know somebody that is also not adding weight, but you know, so
yeah, this your friend.
I just don't want to mention his name. But maybe I will mention his name before the end of the show, Sha.
But yeah, that was mostly it. So I would most times. So it's important to have friends around you
Yeah,
that would
surrounding yourself.
yeah that would
Like people that have me around them now, I used to motivate them.
of course yeah. So that was mostly. But like I said, the love for the course
It's important.
and knowing what I wanted to do, the finish line was what I had in mind, and it was not even a first class. It was mastery
Wow.
of my course.
And you
of
now
study.
added the first class to it.
So first I just had to follow.
And you added that to it too, of course.
She was from the beginning.
She was from the, but you met her in school.
Next question.
All right, let me hear from her. How do you stay focused and motivated?
Uh,
Or did she tell you that did she tell you that for you guys to go out, you have to make a first class? Is that part of the motivation that you had?
Go out. We were
Go out
going to school
today.
every day.
All right, let me hear from you.
um, motivation. Yeah. So first off, I'm not that kind of social person. If I'm coming from that angle of the question that you asked,
Okay.
like
So you're not easily
balancing.
distracted. You didn't
I was
see things to
not
distract you.
easily distracted. So I choose to go for anyone that I want to go for. So let's say, for example, there are 10 faculty events. I can
Yeah.
just decide to go for one,
You go for one.
and that's just for me to like unwind, stress and
Yeah.
everything. So no distractions per se. And my key motivation, um, I would say, is the people that have gone ahead of me.
Hmm.
So this is
You
what
John the
I
Baptist.
so this is what I mean. There are a lot of persons that have gone ahead of me. Probably they made mistakes while they were doing the
Okay.
academic journey, and then they just have so much faith in me, and then they keep supporting me so that I can achieve what they couldn't achieve.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm even tired and I'm like, okay, let me just rest. And I remember these people, and I remember the people coming after me, my niece, my
They are
nephews,
looking up to you.
and then I'm like, I'm not just going to back down. I'm going to keep reading, keep pushing, keep doing everything out of the ordinary to break that
Yeah.
status quo, that norm. So that's number one thing that keeps me motivated, or that kept motivated throughout school. I what else? I think that's the
What
major
about him?
thing.
Was he a motivation factor to you?
Yeah, like you mentioned, right? like, like you mentioned, he said whenever I'm down, he's there to like charge me up.
Were you ever down?
Yes, so I can be down sometimes, and whenever I'm down, it's be watching movie from morning to night. I don't get tired.
Wow.
So he charges me up. I'll be like, guy, read this one and that. I'll be like, okay, I'll go read, I'll do that. So he he's a key factor in my life, in my
Wow.
academic journey. I give this one to
I
him.
will come to
Eshesa,
we'll
Eshesa.
come to the key factors in a moment. Okay.
When she was speaking, I actually remembered something. You know, I talked about the course you love, studying the
Yeah,
course you
because
love,
you love,
and
yeah.
something came to mind. People that are studying a course right now that they do not love, what can they do about
About
it?
it, okay.
Yeah, so there is the aspect of picking an interest in the course. So you're there already. What can you
Make
do
out
with
of
that
it.
course? Yeah,
Yeah.
because in the like I love different courses. Oh, courses are very beautiful. Sociology is beautiful, forestry is beautiful. There are a lot of beautiful courses. So if you can find like really understand what this course is trying to teach you and embrace it, then your academic journey will be a lot smoother. Yeah,
Okay.
it will be a lot better for you. But if you're watching this video and you've not um picked a
Falling in
course
love with the
yet,
course.
you've not come to university or please go for the course you love and stay
Okay.
with it. And then the
Yeah.
other like you mentioned distractions. there was phone and all of that, right? But with knowing already before coming to school, knowing that some things had to go, some things had to reduce, because there's a difference between me being on holiday and me being in school in the
Yeah.
semester. I remember my friend Ojele was my anime supplier. During holiday, I almost killed myself with anime because he would give me some anime and I'll finish. I'm like, guy, rest now. So I watch a lot of movies during the holiday. But in school, I would reduce that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so but I would go for events, so mostly faculty events and all of that. So but I reduced my social media time, my movie time because I knew what I
Or you're
was trying
after.
to get here.
Okay, let me just quickly ask. Do you guys sit together in class?
Yeah.
We
Do
sat
you
together.
talk when the lecture is going on?
Hardly.
We hardly. Well, put it that way,
Hardly.
hardly.
And you guys are
Yeah,
sitting side by
there
side.
are times when I would want to like chip in somewhere, be like, let's grab this
Wow.
first. And
Let's finish.
sometimes
That's really
Actually, you
amazing.
need to pay me when she's done.
so we just focus. When we are done, then we can
We'll
talk.
now discuss
Yeah, because
about
there was
that.
a time I told a friend of mine that we should stop sitting down together when we stop sitting down together in class. Because whenever we are together, like we don't even hear one thing that you guys do. And so we tried it like once, twice, it didn't work. Next class we were together again. I was like talking again and talking again. But I guess you guys just know how to stay focused and disciplined, and that's really something that we should all emulate.
We're interested in the lectures and the lecturers. I think that was the
Oh,
major.
Because
okay.
one thing I would say about this paying attention is not just all about listening to what the lecturer is saying. There are things that the body language will always send across, but people
Yeah.
that are very sensitive are the only ones that can pick it. For example, whenever I'm writing exams, all I remember is the lecturer's gestures in class.
Wow.
Because without that, I may not exactly know how to answer the
The
question
question, the way the lecturer wants.
it.
Yeah, I
So, for
get that.
example, whenever I'm answering a question, I hear the lecturer's voice in my
You hear his
head.
voice. Wow.
Male or female, anyone. So I hear their voices in my head, and I'm like, okay, with the way this man is always talking, I try to bring his personality into my writing.
Wow.
But if you don't pay attention, you just write like you write. You know, university life is not just about you knowing book. You also have to be smart.
And strategic.
So you can know a lot of things. You hear a lot of people that said they read, and still they did not satisfy this lecturer. He did not deliver what he wanted.
Yeah.
You need to think as a lecturer would think
Yeah.
in that situation and then deliver your answer
Yeah.
to
Okay.
the lecturer. So
Yeah, and we also sat in front.
In
yeah,
front.
always in front.
Okay, I think
So,
that's
you
it.
know,
When you're in that front, it's not easy for you to be talking.
Yes, and
But
the
when,
lecturer can send us out if we are talking.
when you're at the back, that's where it's happening.
Possibility.
And there's also one thing I do in class. I tell people that are very close to me. In class, I don't write notes. I have just one jotter for the whole semester.
Yeah.
So I don't write notes because I believe that everybody, we are all different actually. But for me, I don't think I can do a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I can do a lot of things at the same time. So if I am like in class, I pay attention and just write a bit. Like,
Yeah.
because if I start following what lecturer is saying, I won't hear what he's teaching.
he's
I will
teaching,
just be
yeah.
hearing the words, and that's what I'm
Exactly.
writing down. And I'll be asking, what did he say? Let me fill it up.
Yeah.
I can do that one later.
Yeah.
So
I think I heard that from Jordan Peterson. He said the same thing. He said when you want to accumulate, when like you want to assimilate when lecturer is teaching, don't write notes. Just listen. Then later you can now write some notes from what you have listened to. Okay, thank you very much. My next question is a lot of people talk about academic comeback. Usually after they just saw their results. They'll be like next semester I'm going to finish everybody. I'm going to jack fire. But then when the semester starts, you start looking for them. How can people actually do academic comeback? That's for people that can come back. It's not everybody that can come back. Some people are already like,
they don't go far.
they have passed the finish line. Then they are just waiting for us to graduate. But for those who are like 2.9, 2.8, how can they actually cross into 3.1, 3.0? All those people that are 3.2, 3.4, can they get into 3.5, 3.6? But those ones that are on 2.5, let them just forget about it. You understand? 2.1, 2.2, they should just wait for us to come and meet them so we can all graduate together. How can people actually pull this academic comeback? Okay, Jane, you can go first this time.
Okay. For academic comeback.
Yes, that, no, it means they have to do something different from what you were doing before.
Yes. So I'll use myself as an example. There
Okay.
are times where we saw, like, let's for example, 100 level, when our results came out, we're like, now so the dash was B like this. Then we're like, okay, what are we going to do next? Then we said we were going to do academic comeback, that we're going to fire. But one thing that we did was that we told ourselves the truth. I will keep saying this thing. You cannot lie to yourself. You just have to tell yourself the truth. You
Yeah.
can be following everybody and be shouting academic comeback, but you have to tell yourself, can you actually come back?
Okay.
Do you understand? So
Yeah.
if you know you want to come back and you are willing to burn, we like calling morning candles now for those that will be reading in the morning,
Yeah.
or midnight candles for us that will be reading at night.
I
Those
mean, like
kind of
that.
anyone. Like, are you ready to sacrifice those things? There are a lot of
Yeah.
people. I have some mentees, they assigned mentees to us at some point, and then these people, we were like, they were so charged up. We were like, oh, they want to do better. At some point, they were the one that just they came out of the train. They said, they're not even going again. It was now that they saw their result again
That they
now
want to
came
come back again.
and they said and they said, oh, now they want to do better. And as it is, there's I don't know, I don't even know what else to do, because the resources are here. We are giving you guys the resources, but you are not even ready to take it or to use it.
Yeah.
So if you want, for those that are willing and are ready to sacrifice, because truthfully, something will always suffer for you. This is something I say all the time. If you know you want to be on a first class, or you want to do better than your previous results, something will definitely change, and it won't be comfortable.
Yeah.
There are times where I would be reading, I wouldn't even have time to stand up to cook. but later I have to like maybe buy junk or later cook at night, and I would have like what they call this thing? Fast, so you know what fast. You just fast it throughout.
Yeah.
So basically, sometimes you just sleep. You have to wake up very early. You also be like, oh, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. You just have to tell yourself, just wake up and read this thing so that I don't read later. My seniors started to say this thing, Kawe Koma Bale Kaiwe. So read now so that I don't read double of it later. So
Mm.
just sacrifice the small
This
minutes
advice
now.
is very useful for one of my friends.
So just read bit by bit. I advise people just like how Kenny also advised me in 100 level when we first met her. Even if it's reading a page per day, do it so that once it's time like for test, it won't look
You'll
strange.
be running around.
So yeah, it
When
won't
we are covering, you'll be discovering.
yeah, actually, seriously, like before exams, I always form like my notes are always formed.
Wow.
And when I say form, this is not class notes. This is
Your
class notes
personal
from my
notes.
own knowledge and everything. So it's
Yeah.
always fun. So during the exam, it's just me like just conversing with my notes, and then I'm getting deeper knowledge on how to like answer the question during the exam. So basically, if you want to come back, you have to sacrifice a lot of things. Even sometimes your friends.
Your
You cannot
friends.
say you want to go to the library and you want to be talking there. You have to leave them in the cafeteria and go to the library.
Yeah.
Then later,
Like you need
or
to
you
change.
pull
You need
them.
to change your set of friends.
You can pull them if you know you are headed the right way. Then pull them. But if you know,
Can pull them with you.
yes, but if they are telling you no, don't pull me, don't pull
You
me,
leave
then
them
just
alone.
leave them.
That I'll take this your advice.
Just leave them. Actually, number one thing I used to tell myself at some point, I got frustrated even with Kenya. I actually told myself in the room that day. I said, Jane, your
You
mom
leave him
only
behind.
paid my school fees, just
Wow.
you.
You did not
So
pay Kene's
focus,
phone.
just
Wow,
focus
that's
on
nice.
yours alone. Because at some point I realized that the more I was telling him, Kene, leave all this talk, this counsel. I know that I was doing his job, but I just felt like you are sacrificing too much. You
Yeah.
know, these time vampires, they are real. They always come and suck your time away without you realizing. You keep expending like your energy, and then they are
Wow.
there receiving, and then later at night, he doesn't read at night. You're like, I want to sleep. Tomorrow morning, you start reading 2 hours. For me, like this, in a day, I can read close to like more than 12 hours because I don't get to socialize with people.
Wow. 12 hours.
So even if I'm going to talk with anybody, something I will decide, okay, I want to actually discuss. I want to look for trouble today.
Yeah.
So there are days for those kind of activities. So I usually tell him, but that when I realized, I cried that day because I'm like, God, this
Wow.
boy, I can
So
do,
you mean there was a
I
day
can,
there was a day you almost left him.
I cried that day. I was like,
Wow.
God, I can do this with other people, but it's
Maybe I
not
would have
over.
seen you that day. I just
So I was like,
take
no
over.
problem with that. Jane, I just use this one to like console myself that Jane, your mom only paid your school fees.
Yeah.
That just focus on yourself and
That's
leave
very correct.
everybody.
That's very
But
correct.
later, and I realized that after I made that statement, I was like, the Holy Spirit just swept,
Oh,
just hit him with that revelation, and then he came
and
back,
it
and I'm
became
like,
yeah,
okay,
wow.
okay.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I only like to add to that.
Wow, I made you cry. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
See, we are getting a lot of revelations here.
But yeah, well, the question was
Academic comeback.
academic comeback. Yeah, so it's still literally what she said. Like I mentioned before, learning to love your course and having the destination in mind. Basically, because what happens is that sometimes we forget what we are trying to do, and it's also important to have people that can push you, like your friend that would remind you
Yeah,
that
that's what
okay,
you
you
have
are
to do.
doing this, and little steps is important. Like she mentioned, reading
Even if
at
it's a
least even if
page.
it's a page, though that's not the climax of it. Oh, that's just the beginning. That's the starting, but we need
Yeah.
to be more than that eventually. So, but all of the because of the time and everything, what I would just say is now it's about habit. Basically, it's a habit formation thing. So more than just motivation, because I remember my first semester result in 100 level was not a first class result. I improved in
Wow.
second semester and I improved in 200 level basically. So um what I always tell my mentees too is that check more than just saying I want to do a comeback. Check what you didn't do well. Always do an evaluation.
Yeah.
Review the term. What didn't I do well this other term? What did I do well? So for what I did well, retain it. And what I didn't do well, you improve on
You
it.
improve on it.
That's one thing that always works.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's just delve a little into your political I say your political life. So I want to just start by asking, how did the idea of running? Because I didn't really see you as a political person. But I know at one point we talked, but I want it to come from you basically.
Yeah.
How did politics come into the scene?
Mm. Okay, so because of my background in secondary school, like not doing so well in secondary school, and coming to UI and trying to do well, and of everything I learned was because I remember I told you I wrote Jam 3 times
Yeah.
before coming into UI.
Yeah.
So, but when I was finally in UI, all the years I spent at home, I spent it changing my mindset and learning how to succeed. So I began to apply that in secondary school, university, in UI. So basically, I saw that it was working, and I began to pull others with me, some of my classmates, but I couldn't do so much with them because they were my classmates, so that it would not feel any kind
Yeah.
of way. But the next level, 100 level, I mean, the sets after me, and then the sets after them. So I kept pulling people.
Trying to
That
help
was what she
them.
was talking about, the counseling. So I would always I counsel people almost every day, and a counseling session didn't take less than an hour. And I did this almost every day for different people at different times. So it was something that I kept doing. I did it for years, and then there was even some points where, because I would even organize some discussion. I think we had one with the 300 your set that time. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had like a discussion. You did not come, Sha. Or we had one
I don't know,
with
you don't find me those kind of
so,
events.
like we had to like talk
Yeah.
with them to like so that I won't be doing one.
Yeah,
To
just
do
talk
it
everybody
together.
out.
So
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And I remember something that happened because when I put out the broadcast to their list, to their group, and someone saw it, and Nesco saw it, and I was like, because I put signed by Jane and Kene, and they're like, who is Jane and Kene? I like, it's not like if you are doing the work of an executive, you want to be an executive, people go and get a phone, but I didn't take it
Yeah.
seriously. But eventually, I got to realize that actually, let me take this platform, let me use this opportunity and get this platform and be more, have the authority in quotes. So being the vice president, I was able to walk up to anyone and ask the person of the academics. They know it's normal.
Yeah.
You get, so I could even penetrate people more as the vice president. So I basically wanted a platform where I could give to reach more people. Basically, that was the whole idea of being the vice president.
Wow.
Precisely.
That's nice. And I remember that I managed your campaign.
Yes,
I was your campaign manager.
Yes, sir.
And you had a resounding victory in that election. Okay. So let that be on record. Okay. One last question, Kenny. Are you dating Jane now? Is your relationship with her, is it official dating, or but the last time we met, you said you guys were just friends. So what have you improved on that too? Because you say you've improved on your academics, you improved on. Have you also improved on that status? I mean, are you guys dating? That's the question, straight question.
Do you think we are dating?
What I think doesn't matter now. Is she your girlfriend?
Oh wow,
That's deep.
that's
Is it deep? No, I don't want to cut corners. I want to go straight.
well. Let's see. Who knows? Is she? Is she?
Deep.
Is she?
You can tell us now. You can tell us.
Eh,
Is she your
I've
girlfriend?
answered now. Is she?
No, you're asking us back. So when I'm
It's
asking,
answered now.
let me ask
You
Jane.
answer.
Am I there?
See, you are doing what we did that last time.
No,
Just leave
no.
it.
No, people want to
Posterity
know.
will tell.
People want to know if somehow there has been an improvement in your friendship. Jane, are you guys
We will
dating?
know in the future. Don't worry. If we focus on your
Why-
academics,
why-
Leave it now. So let's
exactly.
just leave.
Why don't you guys want to go public with your relationship?
What publicity?
Why don't you want people to
Our
know
relationship is
that?
public now. We not here.
No, you don't want to say it outrightly. Yeah. Even though I can see it in your eyes. Your eyes is.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Okay, you guys are
Posterity
dating.
will tell. Are we dating? I don't. Bro, I don't know.
Okay, people don't know what you are doing.
We don't know. what we know is that we are very
We are
good
friends. We are
friends.
supporting each other.
Ah,
I know you guys are good friends. I know that. But what I don't know is if you guys are in a relationship, like in a romantic relationship.
in a romantic relationship,
I don't know.
You don't know.
we don't know. We don't know what to call it. Is we are friends.
Okay.
Best of
Best
friends.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. All right, guys. Thank you very much for this time with us. I hope you had a nice time.
Thank
I think I should mention
Okay.
that if I see this platform to mention that um I I'm launching a podcast.
Okay. That was very
Next week,
interesting.
actually. I forgot to mention it to you. So
Okay.
I don't know when this video will be out,
All
but
right.
right.
No
But
problem.
it's basically about life in school,
Life in
university.
school. Wow.
Basically, all of these things that we talked about, but
I'm going
in
to
a
talk
more
about.
detailed
How you are
way
going to invite me to
on
the
the how.
podcast?
Let's see how it goes. But like, it's basically
Well,
how
I'm
to.
not a first class student though, but at least there are some things I can contribute.
I mean, there's really no point that nobody cannot survive from. I mean,
Yeah.
even a 1 point something, as long as you're still a student, you can still improve on your result no matter what. You understand? So,
Alright.
but yeah, that podcast will be about how to navigate school properly, understanding the reason why things are. Like, I mean, we say read, everybody knows to read, but
Yeah.
why
But why
can't
are they
we
not
read
reading? Yeah.
exactly? And why is it important to read every day and all of this? So, these are the things and then all of the little.
Are you
lot of
launching the
things.
podcast with Jane?
you.
It's just you or the both of you.
Well, it's just me, but of course, I'll have guests. She's she's a potential guest. Please don't.
Just a guest or like a partner.
Should be a guest, but
Should be
she's
a
part
guest.
of whatever I'm doing.
She's part of everything you do.
Whatever I'm doing. She would know about it, so she knows about the podcast.
Alright.
For now.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank you for having us. It's always a
Jane, thank you very
pleasure.
much. I hope in our next
And
podcast you guys will be able to tell us what's actually going on. Because I will stay on this issue till I get to the root of this matter.
When you get to root, you will know.
Alright. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for staying with us.
Thank you.
Join me back. Have a lovely day ahead.